Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast Channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra...
Good evening and welcome to the November 24th, 2025 Town of Exeter Select Board meeting. As the hour is 6:30 p.m., I'm calling our meeting to order. For the first half hour, the board will be downstairs in the wheelwright room, hopefully for a quick non-public session, and then 2 board interviews, and we'll be returning to the Novak room here at 7 p.m. to conduct our regular business meeting. So at this time, I'd entertain a motion to move into non-public under RSA 91A32C.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please.
Selectman Chartran.
Aye.
Selectman Cohen.
Aye.
Selectman Gilman.
Aye.
Clerk says aye, Mr. Chair.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Thank you.
For this week's report. Information about the Seacoast Toy Drive. Chamber hosts workshop highlighting healthcare costs. PD sign-on bonuses discussed at the Select Board. Town staff interviewed for Veterans Day. A reminder about the upcoming holiday block party. And Thanksgiving messages from town departments. For Exeter TV, I'm Bob Glowacki. From the newly renovated Linden Street Bridge, this is the Exeter Biweekly Report. Let's get started. Good afternoon, Exeter. Thanks for tuning into the show today. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and like this video to help spread word about the show and all things Exeter. You can also head over to the town website and subscribe to the town's email newsletter to get this show and other local news sent straight to your inbox. For our first segment, we stop by the fire department to learn more about the ongoing Seacoast Toy Drive and how you can help.
Every year, the Exeter Fire Department collaborates with St. Michael's to help collect toy donations right in time for the Christmas season.
Exeter Fire works to talk to families who are in need to see who might need extra support for Christmas so that we can give toys to those who are in need who may not be able to afford as fun of a Christmas as they might like. So we put out boxes in multiple different locations so those with the means and the generosity are able to donate to us. Whenever we have a surplus of toys, they go to other agencies, and we also reach out to other towns in surrounding areas whenever we know of major fires or anything where children might be involved so that we can donate to them year-round. Any surplus gets used and is either saved for those emergencies or they immediately go to other toy drives during Christmas season.
Donation boxes are found all across town, including Hannaford's, Whirligigs, Otto's Pizza, and Ace Hardware, as well as some additional locations.
We definitely strongly encourage anybody who has the means to donate if they can. There are definitely a lot of people in need, whether they be in Exeter or whether they be in surrounding towns, and it's very important that we do what we can to help those out.
Earlier this month, the Exeter Area Chamber of Commerce hosted a workshop aimed at staying informed about the future of healthcare costs and how doing so is crucial for local businesses. Gabe Perez filmed the workshop and has this recap.
Last week, the Exeter Area Chamber of Commerce invited us to attend a panel with the New Hampshire Health Cost Initiative, a panel discussion with local businesses, state leaders, and policy experts over the changes coming to insurance and premiums. The program, hosted at Seacoast School of Technology, and breakfast, catered by the school's culinary arts students, had noteworthy speakers such as DJ Battencourt, the Commissioner for the New Hampshire Insurance Department, Deborah Fournier, the Director of Health and Law at UNH, Ryan Pulaski, the owner at Bodywise Health, and Cass Walker, the Chief HR Officer for the Greater Seacoast Community Health. The discussion, which saw local business owners, medical practices, and more, discuss with the panelists growing concerns over rising premiums and other such issues, and what professionals see coming on the horizon when it comes to our health insurances.
I'm Jennifer Frizzell, and I'm the project director for the New Hampshire Health Cost Initiative. And we were really lucky to be able to partner with the Exeter Chamber of Commerce in recent months to do some listening and get a feel for how the business community here among their members is experiencing the health cost crisis. What was great about today's conversation is how many people left wanting to be part of what's next. And in that way, the work we do with the Health Cost Initiative is designed to really shine the spotlight on community leaders who are rolling up their sleeves to understand problems of health costs and who want to be part of the solution in the future. And we all need to roll up our sleeves and come together to address practical solutions. And it was great to see so many people turn out today from the Exeter Chamber, from the healthcare community, and those who really care about having affordability and a reasonable cost of living in the community to address their healthcare problems.
At the November 10th meeting of the Exeter Select Board, the police department gave an update on new recruitment incentives, and the board also discussed a contract related to the new police station and fire substation construction. To learn more, Dan Monchek has this recap from our Meeting Minutes series.
This is your Meeting Minute for the November 10th Select Board meeting. Chief Poulin from the Exeter Police Department came in front of the board to discuss hiring incentives for police officers in town. In recent years, the police department has seen a decline in applicants for open positions. In an attempt to gain more experienced applicants, Chief Poulin is proposing a $15,000 sign-on bonus for previously certified police officers.
When it comes to hiring for a police officer, the benefits of hiring someone that's previously certified are vast. It comes with just knowledge of the job, the experience, the time that it takes to train, get them up and going, the money that's spent on getting them trained and up and going versus someone that's not certified.
Chief Poulin went on to say that other towns in the surrounding area are already offering similar hiring incentives. Exeter's police department struggles to bring on new hires when other nearby communities can offer hiring incentives that Exeter can't compete with.
We just don't have the number of people looking to get into this field than we have had in the past. And this is, I think, an important step for us to try to balance the force that we have right now.
The amount of resources and funding that it takes to recruit and train somebody who's new to policing, or maybe even just going to the academy, it sounds to me, if I'm understanding correctly, that it's probably going to balance out, maybe not dollar for dollar, but if you're hiring somebody that can just step in day one and you're giving them the sign-on bonus that other communities nearby are doing, it would sort of cancel out what we would be spending to recruit and train.
I'm in favor of this, and the primary reason is that we're at risk of losing more people that we already have as the burden falls on them increasingly with with vacancies. So we have spent a lot of time as a municipality and a lot of money over the last 3 to 4 years trying to recruit and retain, and this is just one more effort to continue to do that.
The board unanimously voted to authorize the town of Exeter to offer a $15,000 sign-on bonus to certified police officers. Up next, Exeter's financial director, Corey Stevens, came to discuss the construction management contract for the new police and fire substation on Continental Drive. This construction project is being completed in a different manner than the town typically uses. In the past, construction projects in town have followed a process of design, bid, build. This project is instead using a process of design, build.
Previously, we did design, bid, build, correct?
That's what I understand.
Yes.
Yeah. And now we're doing design, build. And I assume that's because we've had previous projects that have gone over budget and they're already finalized. And that puts us in a bit of a hole. Whereas with the design build process, you have more flexibility. You haven't finalized anything yet, and that's why that's a superior approach, especially in the environment that we have now for construction.
We had, at the time we were making these decisions, had some projects substantially coming in over budget from what we had done. We had gone out, we had designed the project, we had gotten an estimated cost, and by the time we got back, it was going over budget. In this format, it allows the design team and the construction team to work together while we're going through this process, knowing that we have a maximum number of budget. So we are now designing the project as we're going with the people that are going to be building the project so that we hit the budget number rather than say, well, I'm sorry, all of our bids have come back over.
I appreciate that we are taking that approach because we've had too many projects over the last 5 years where we've had to go back to the voters, and I would prefer not to go back to the voters on this project.
We 100%.
I was going to say, Corey and I agree.
We all agree.
So this is a superior approach to avoid that.
The board voted to authorize the interim town manager, Melissa Roy, to execute any documents related to the construction management contract for the new police and fire substation. The next select board meeting will be held on November 24th in the Novak room. See you there.
With the town offices closed for Veterans Day last week, we sat down with 2 town staff that formerly served in the armed forces to learn more about their service and how it connects to how they continue to serve the public through municipal employment.
My name's Darren Winham. I'm the Economic Development Director for the town. I was in the Navy from 90 to 94. I was a gas turbine tech. I worked on turbines on the USS Ingersoll DD-990 Spruance class destroyer, right there. I needed some discipline in my life. I was just doing things that weren't smart. And I had gone to college for a year or two and realized that I better stop doing what I was doing and then get more serious, and then the Navy helped me with that quite a bit. I was on the fire party, and I was a scene leader and a first base actuator, which was really, really cool. I worked on gas turbines, so I was below the water line inside a main engine room, 1 or 2, and we worked on the turbines, and it was interesting. It's like baking a cake. Basically, you get down there for the day, and you'd have a binder that said, okay, this is what you're gonna do, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and could I tell you how it works? No, I can't, but I can definitely fix it by going by the book. That was like daily, and then of course, then we'd have fire parties and a lot of training, and a lot of training. It was a lot of fun. Because you're on a ship, right, the ships can sink. And so as part of the training, they have this trainer called a wet trainer, and you hook your hoses up to it on the pier, and it fills up, and you're in there with a buddy, and there's holes, there's pipes and holes. You know, it's only about as big as from me to you, a box that big, probably about, 8 feet high or whatever, and the water starts flowing up, and you have to keep grabbing a mallet and wooden, triangles and pounding them into the things, and they pop back out. It's fun as heck. You got soaking wet, but it was really cool. I did a Westpac, so I was stationed at Pearl Harbor for 4 years, which is a ball, because like I tell people, when you're stationed at Pearl Harbor, every night is Friday night, every night Saturday night, because all these people are on vacation. Anyhow, so we went to the Philippines. We were the last battle group to go to the Philippines, which was really fun. Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Bahrain, and a bunch of other ones, just going out to the Gulf and then back. And we also got to go to San Diego as well. Honor, yeah, you feel really good about doing that. You're serving your country. I happened to go just after the Gulf War. I think I was in boot camp when the Gulf War happened. It's a great feeling. And people say thank you all the time to do it, and I respect all the veterans.
Hello everybody, my name is Andrea Kohler. I am the Exeter Town Clerk. I was also a U.S. Air Force member. I was in the Air Force. I was a mechanic. I served on FB-111s, and I also served on the tanker, the KC-135s, and I also worked on the in-flight refueling system. I was stationed at Pease, New Hampshire. The FB-111A was a fighter aircraft. Most of them were under security, so you had to get security clearance in order to work on them. The KC-135 is a tanker aircraft used to move stuff, people and equipment. The air flight refueling system speaks for itself. Refueling in air, from one plane to another. I wanted to do something different. I didn't have the money to go to college, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to go in the military. So that's what I did. Went down to Concord on a bus by myself, signed up, came back, told my mother, and left in November. My father served in the reserves. My 2 brothers served. Both of them were in the Army. One of my brothers served overseas in Germany, meeting people from all over the United States was fun. See how people, what they did, you know, it's always a little bit culture shock between, you know, out west to here and vice versa. So when I was in basic training, that was fun. I liked that a lot. Yeah, I worked in a shop full of men. I was only two, I was one of the 2 females that worked in the office. And I learned some swear words that I didn't know I knew. All new stuff to me. Yeah, it was interesting, yeah. My biggest takeaway is, it's kind of like what I do now. I serve the people. Even though I was working on airplanes, I was serving the military, but I'm also serving the people. Not just of this town, but when I was in the military, I was serving the United States. So, kind of same, but different. Don't have to work on airplanes, being a town clerk, but.
We're getting our Christmas wish list finalized here at the TV station because Santa is coming to town in just under 2 weeks. For more information on the Holiday Block Party and the Holiday Parade, Gabe Perez has these details.
The Exeter Holiday Block Party makes its big return to Exeter's downtown on December 4th.
We've got fun for the whole family at this year's Holiday Block Party. Come down and bring the kids, check out our gingerbread craft with the Exeter High School Senate, as well as the Exeter High School Chorus singing some wonderful Christmas music.
The streets will be filled to the brim with festive partygoers looking to get their in when the big man arrives. That's right, Santa will be there. At 5 p.m., Santa will arrive to light up the town and spark joy into the hearts of everyone there. You can even take a photo of his tricked out sleigh.
Come visit the Festival of Trees and the Gingerbread House competition, both fundraisers for the Community Children's Fund, which provides warm clothing and bedding to families in need in the Exeter area.
Parking in downtown will be closed by 2 p.m., so please plan accordingly. Then, on December 6th, the Exeter Holiday Parade takes to the streets to celebrate pure holiday cheer. Make sure to find your spots and celebrate the turn of the year with everyone from the town together. Exeter TV will be broadcasting the parade for anyone not in attendance and can watch our coverage on Channel 6 on Comcast or YouTube.
For our last segment, in the spirit of Thanksgiving, Dan and Gabe went around the town offices to ask staff what they're thankful for.
I'm thankful for our new community center and everyone in this amazing community that helped make it possible.
On behalf of the Exeter Area Chamber of Commerce, we want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. Have a great holiday with all your friends. We are thankful for our community, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
I'm thankful for family and friends and really great experiences.
And I think the thing that I'm thankful for this time of year and all year long is our dedicated volunteers who make this town a great place to work in.
From the Exeter Public Library, we're thankful for our patrons.
I'm thankful for my dog Guinness.
I'm grateful for working for such a great community for over the past 7 years.
Hi, I am thankful for my husband and my son, and of course my dog Kenna.
I'm thankful for our newest staff member, Narwhal.
I'm thankful for my friends, family, and all the people I work with here at Exeter.
I'm thankful for health and happiness with my family.
I'm thankful for my amazing staff, Dan and Gabe, who cover a lot of meetings and great events so that I can stay home with my little one and my wife.
This year, I'm thankful for my friends, my family, and the wonderful people at Exeter Parks and Recreation.
I'm thankful for all of our wonderful residents and our dedicated staff that help make Exeter great. I hope everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving. Happy holidays, everyone.
I'm thankful for Exeter TV for being such a wonderful place to work. And most importantly, I'm thankful for this goat. What's your name? And what are you thankful for this year? Thank you.
I just want to add on that from the team here at Exeter TV, I'm very thankful to all of you, the viewers of the Biweekly Report, our meeting coverage, and all of our other programming. We wouldn't be here without you. That does it for this week's report. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to help us spread the word. And head over to the town website and subscribe to the town's email newsletter to get this show and other local news sent straight to your inbox. We'll be back on December 5th for the next edition of the show. For Exeter TV, I'm Bob Glowacki, and this has been the Exeter Biweekly Report. Have a great weekend and have a happy Thanksgiving. But it's at a really weird angle right now, to be honest. Do I ditch the hat? Oh man, then I got a giant hat imprint on my head. Flaps up or down. It's tripod's level. Like, you don't have it pointed at me, but like if you come where I am, it's like not even filling up the, see how it's like off to the side? It could just be the angle that I'm standing. Because Santa is coming to town. I kind of messed up that a little bit. I was like, I'm nailing this. Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast Channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well. Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast Channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified of.
Good evening again, and welcome back to the November 24th, 2025 Town of Exeter Select Board meeting. The board met downstairs in the wheelwright room for a half hour in a non-public session, and then exited to conduct two committee interviews. And as the hour is now 7 o'clock, I will call the regular business meeting to order. So good evening to my colleagues on the board, respective town staff, those in attendance, and certainly those watching at home. I'll start by introducing the board. To my right, Selectman Dan Chartrand. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Chair.
Our Vice Chair, Selectwoman Molly Cowan. Good evening.
Hi, everyone.
To my left is our Clerk, Selectwoman Nancy Belanger. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Selectwoman Julie Gilman. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
And our Recording Secretary, Joanna Bartel. Good evening. Our Interim Town Manager, Melissa Roy. Good evening.
Everyone.
And my name is Nico Papakostandis. The first order of business this evening is a bid opening for the 2026 chemical purchase. And we have 6 to go through. We'll try to do this as quickly as we can, but we also need to go slow so that we're accurate. So,
Yes, please.
are you set?
I am.
Okay, great. The first is from Holland Company, Inc., and they are from Adams, Massachusetts. And they are opting not to offer a quote at this time, but they ask that we keep them on the bid list for future consideration, as they do manufacture other chemicals. All right, out of space here. The next bid is from Candace LaCourte.
Can you spell
Who
last?
is from, let me get the name of the company. Candace is the name of the company is Harcross Chemicals, Inc. That's HARCROS Chemicals, Inc. And they're in Nashua, New Hampshire. And the bid item number 1, sodium hypochlorite solution, 15% for surface water treatment plant and groundwater treatment plant, unit price per gallon delivered, 1.9300 per gallon.
And I just have to do the 1.93.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Per gallon.
Yeah.
And the bid item number 2 is activated carbon for the surface water treatment plant, unit price per pound delivered, no bid. Bid item number 3, potassium permanganate, free-flowing for the surface water treatment plant, unit price per pound delivered, and that is 2.3100 per pound. And bid item number 4, sodium hydroxide, 25% for the surface water treatment plant and groundwater treatment plant, unit price per gallon delivered, 1.8668 per gallon. Okay, the next bid is from Borden, B-O-R-D-E-N, and Remington, R-E-M-I-N-G-T-O-N, Corp. And they're from Fall River, Massachusetts. Bid item number 1 for the sodium hypochlorite solution. Unit price per gallon delivered 2.78. Bid item number 2, the activated carbon unit price per pound delivered, no bid. Bid item number 3 for the potassium permanganate unit price per pound delivered, no bid. And bid item number 4, sodium hydroxide unit price per gallon delivered, 1.4146. And this bid is from Coin Chemicals. And they are from Croydon, Croyden, Pennsylvania. Bid item number 1, the sodium hypochlorite solution, no bid. Bid item number 2, the activated carbon unit price per pound delivered, 2.1263. Bid item number 3, the potassium permanganate unit price per pound delivered, 2.564. And bid item number 4, the sodium hydroxide, no bid.
Sorry. Just Univar Solutions, that's UNIVAR Solutions, out of Morrisville, Pennsylvania. The other one had a table of contents.
I'm surprised that that's just not standard, but okay. Because you shouldn't have to go through it like that. That's crazy.
Here we go.
Halfway through.
Bid item number 1, sodium hypochlorite solution, unit price per gallon delivered, 1.895. Bid item number 2, activated carbon, no bid. Bid item number 3, potassium permanganate, unit price per pound delivered, 2.46. And bid item number 4, the sodium hydroxide, unit price per gallon delivered, 1.2769. One more. This is Shannon, Shannon Chemical Corporation, and they are from Malvern, Malvern, Pennsylvania. Bid item number 1, sodium hypochlorite solution, no bid. Bid item number 2, no bid. That was for the activated carbon. Bid item number 3, the potassium permanganate, unit price per pound delivered, 2.57. And bid item number 4, no bid. Okay, with that, thank you, Madam Clerk. I would entertain a motion to refer the bids for the 2026 chemical purchase, the Public Works Department, to make a recommendation to the board.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you very much. All righty. Thank you all for your patience while we go through that. Next up is public comment. This is an opportunity for folks to come up and have comment to the select board. We do ask, though, if your comment is relative to an agenda item, you wait till that agenda item comes up. So I'll pause briefly and see if there's public comment. Seeing none and nobody online, we'll move on. The next order of business is to review the regular meeting minutes of the Town of Exeter November 10th, 2025 Select Board meeting. Are there any revisions or amendments?
I do.
Okay.
If someone's, I have to get there, so.
Go ahead.
If someone else,
Yeah,
Julie?
I have a small one. Page 6 and line 245. Talking about the Arts and Culture Advisory Commission wants to put in a digital sign, and that they should reach out to Doug Eastman because it's in an historic district, not a Heritage Commission matter.
Okay. Thank you. Did you find yours?
I did.
Okay.
I just don't know if I said it right that night, but that's okay. Yeah, hold on. 192, line 192, it says Ms. Belanger abstained. It should say from the vote of the planning board, vote. It's just not worded right.
I remember you said
So,
that.
yes, so Ms. Belanger abstained from the planning board vote, period, on that one. And Julie did that. And on 254, it says CIP, for the should be crossed out, CIP master plan update. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Joanna, did you get those? If there are no other amendments or revisions, I would entertain a motion to approve the Town of Exeter Select Board regular meeting minutes of November 10th, 2025 as amended.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. As I indicated earlier, we interviewed 2 applicants for the train committee downstairs, and Mr. Chartrand, I'll ask you to move those appointments, if you would, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to, first of all, make a motion to appoint Darius Thompson to a term ending in April 2026 on the train committee.
So, second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
And then secondly, if I could make a motion, Mr. Chair, to appoint Anna Grazier to a term ending in April 2028 on the train committee.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries, and we thank Anna Grazier and Darius Thompson for volunteering for the train committee. Thanks, Mr. Sharp.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
We still have two spots open for alternates on the train committee if anyone's interested.
Terrific. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a busy agenda this evening, so we're going to jump right into our discussion items. First up, we have our Finance Director, Corey Stevens, along with our auditors who are going to present a summary of their most recent audit. Good evening, Mr. Stevens.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Thank you for having us this evening. In September, our auditing firm, Plazek & Sanderson, completing the FY24 financial statement audit for us. This was our second year working with Plazic, and as far as the team internally is concerned, it's been going well. They'll let you know if they think it was going otherwise. But it has been going well. Tonight with us on the left is Cheryl Pratt. She's a director and shareholder with Plazic and Sanderson. And Ashley Miller-Clem on the right. She's a senior manager, and she runs the Exeter team when they're out here doing the audit. They'll walk you through the financials, the results of the audit, and entertain any questions you might have.
Great.
And as always, if you have any follow-up, I'm available whenever you need me.
Terrific. Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Good evening. Thanks for having us here. So I'm going to just go over a very high level of the 12/31/2024 audit. Happy to take any questions that you might have as they come up. So starting off on our auditor's report. So we have issued what's known as unmodified opinions on the government-wide business type activities, major governmental funds, and your general fund for the year end 12/31/24, which is good. That's what you want. That's at the beginning of our report. At the end of our report, we also have an opinion on compliance. So because the town has expended over a certain dollar threshold of federal money, we are required to do what's known as a compliance audit or a single audit, where we test compliance with grant requirements. So in that report, which is over here, so again, so we have the unmodified opinions on the governmental activities, business type, and major governmental funds and aggregate remaining funds. We did issue a qualified opinion on one of the federal programs that we tested. This was the congressionally mandated projects. And this is specific to a finding where basically matching requirement was not met correctly. So funds were used for the wrong purpose. That doesn't mean that we used them for the wrong purpose of the grant, but the town was required to do a 20% match for the project, and the funds that were utilized for that match were also federal funds, which were not allowed to be used. Corey's been made aware, the EPA has been made aware, and it's been corrected. So it should not be a problem going forward. So that's the opinions. Other big areas that we want to highlight are the fund balance. So your general fund ending unassigned fund balance for the year ended 12/31/24 was $5,993,075. That's a change from your beginning unassigned fund balance of approximately $5.4 million. Some changes, the items that went into that change include use of fund balance to reduce your 2024 tax rate, amounts that were voted from warrant articles to reduce fund balance, a revenue surplus of $520,000, and then unexpended balance of your appropriations of about $1 million. So those all contributed to that increase. Other quick areas that I just wanted to highlight as well, in that separate letter that I believe you all have a copy of as well, we always have other comments that we would like to bring to your attention, right? The items that are not significant enough to go into the report itself, but we just want to make sure that you're aware. So these are included in that separate letter that you have, starting on the third page of that letter, mostly policy related, right? So we just noticed that there were several policies that hadn't been updated in a few years. We generally recommend a 3 to 5 year cycle with policies, specifically with finance policies, right? There's a lot of stuff that can change very quickly, so you want to make sure that those are up to date. Deputy treasurer, so there's a state RSA that says you should have a deputy treasurer. Obviously, if something happens to your treasurer, you want someone there as a backup. I know that's been a process that's been in place trying to find somebody for that. Capital asset policy, again, keeping up with changes in recent pronouncements from the GASB. There's a couple new pronouncements that are out there that impact how you record your capital assets, and those should be reflected in your policies. Purchasing policies and decentralized processes. These are just related to, you have a lot of various departments, right? Money's coming in from a lot of different locations. So trying to centralize that and make it as consistent across the board as you can. And then the final one being IT policies, right? So obviously it's a big issue right now, a lot of cybersecurity things going on. So we just want to make sure that you guys are aware of that and that your policies are reflective of that. You've got good practices in place to protect yourself over IT.
Okay, great.
And that has been a major concern, is the amount of cyber hacks that have been occurring throughout the state. We've seen quite a few. So that is not necessarily a finding in this report, but it's a comment at the bottom just to make you aware that you really, that should be on your radar.
Can I ask a question about that? So you didn't actually take a look at our processes on the IT side? It's just kind of a general thing that you insert into this report for all your governmental clients?
In that, for this general comment, yes, but we do have new procedures that we've always documented controls over your IT.
Right.
But going forward, we developed a new, based on this issue, we have come up with new controls that we will be documenting and testing when we come back to do the 25 year-end audit. So unfortunately, it will take a little time to go through, but it will turn up anything that we feel, may be warranted to be one of these comments in the report going forward.
And we're not IT professionals, so I can't say that I wouldn't say that we've done like a thorough IT audit specifically. We're just looking at like very high level, right?
Yeah.
Like we do see that you have some procedures, some IT policies in place, but we're recommending, that you look at those regularly, you have backups, and detailed disaster recovery plans. What we see happening a lot is people have the plan in place, but nobody knows what the plan is, so that way when something does happen, everybody's sort of scrambling, and that you test those backups as well, that you've got a process in place to make sure that the backups are actually working.
So let me ask you this question, if I may.
Of course.
Is the fact that we now have we do have our IT department reporting to Corey,
That is
correct?
correct.
So is the fact that that department is now in our executive level reorg, we have that reporting directly to the person you're working with on this audit, does that give you some assurance?
It certainly helps, and it allows us to get better information if we can speak directly to your IT people, right? Because they're the experts on it. So it helps in us to have that access to them.
Great.
And also, when we do have these comments, we can talk directly to them and sort of explain what we're looking for from them so that they understand, maybe what they can work on.
Thank you.
To potentially improve.
You said when you come back the next time, when would that be?
So we'll be working on the 12/31/2025 audit next year. I don't know the date off the top of my head, but we'll be here, I think, sometime in January to get started.
January 2026,
Yes.
right? Good, because if there's anything that's going to involve budget later in the year, the sooner we know, the better. So, thank you.
Understanding you're not IT experts, is there anything that you're seeing with other clients that they're doing that you'd recommend we should look into?
I would say starting with the policy is a good start. Where you have a lot of towns that we work with don't have internal IT. A lot of people outsource that. So where you have more internal people, just working with them to get those policies developed. Like I said, having the disaster recovery plan in place, making sure that people know what the plan is, making sure that the backups that you're doing are actually working, testing those on a regular basis. And then in terms of the cybersecurity, like Cheryl mentioned, just being aware of it, and I'm sure your IT department is aware. So, you got to stay on top of it because it changes all the time.
Of course.
And even maybe providing, even us as a firm, we've gone through this whole process ourselves, and we actually go through testing. We don't know we're being tested, but we have quarterly phishing testing and all other types of training. So we're made aware of the things to be looking for. So it doesn't hurt to have that type of training for your staff, because I've seen through just in the recent years, people pushed a button. They shouldn't have, clicked on that link in the email. So that's actually, that's helpful and preventative in some respects if you can provide that type of training for the people that are, using their emails, and which might be, staff-wide, but it's not a bad thing to do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And we do have some, so you'll get into that with them, because I take them every time they send them out.
Good.
They come and get us if we don't. So,
They keep track.
and I'm guilty of that. I'm assuming Primex offers cyber coverage, and we would have it if they do.
Yes.
Okay.
Let me just, Corey, do you know I apologize to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not saying.
And if we don't already, can we reach out to Primex to see if they offer any additional training on cyber for both Corey's department and IT?
Sure.
Thank you. Any other questions on the audit?
Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll see you in January.
All right.
Okay.
Have a good holiday.
Thank you, Corey.
As well.
I'll just say as well to thank you to Corey and his team, because they really do give us everything that we need to be able to do our job. And so without their expertise, we wouldn't be able to do this.
Thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. And Corey, thank you to you and your staff. All right. Thanks. Have a safe holiday.
Thank you.
Okay, next on our agenda, we have the co-chairs of the 250 Commission to come speak to us. So step right up. Welcome back.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm Karen Pryor, co-chair of the 250 of the Celebration Commission.
And my name is Françoise Elise, or Fran, and I'm co-chair of the commission.
Terrific. Good evening.
So the first thing should be a pretty quick, I believe it was in your packet, where we realized or were informed that the draft of our charge had never been approved. So at our meeting of November 18th, our commission voted unanimously to accept the charge, and we wanted to bring that before you and hope that you will accept it and that we are actually official.
Okay. Has everyone had an opportunity to read the charge that was in the packet?
Yes.
Okay. Are there any questions or concerns? Okay. Then seeing none, I would entertain a motion to adopt the statement of purpose and charge from the 250 Celebration Commission.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? There we go.
Thank you. Also in your packet, we wanted to share with you some of our marketing and PR material. You will see one piece is a rack card that we're going to be making available throughout the community, and a poster. The big one really is our sponsorship packet that we wanted to review with you. The biggest thing is what we've tried, this is much larger than it will be. And as you know, we're going to be doing all of our own fundraising. On December 8th, we'll come before you to have our final budget approved by you, which is in the neighborhood of about $26,000. But this is a draft or a final draft of our packet. We sort of tell the story with our theme being our declaration, our town, our stories. And there's 6 levels of sponsorship. And we've broken it into 2 categories, sort of larger, up in the 5,000, 2,500, 1,000 category, and then smaller sponsorship opportunities. And it's pretty self-explanatory, but people will get. We're going to be working with Parks and Recreation. They've been a wonderful partner in all of this, and so I just wanted to bring this to your attention, see if you had any questions, and Corey and Melissa will address some logistics of how we're going to process some of this.
This is great. Bless you.
It's going to look much better in real life. But
You've done this before.
yeah, we've done this. Actually, we should be thanking Caroline over in Park and Rec. She did a great job.
And just to reiterate what, as a select board rep to the commission, what Ms. Pryor is talking about, the working with the Parks and Rec for one thing. We're not adding to their tasks. We're joining them or giving them a theme.
Okay.
So we're not, their budget hasn't gone up because of this.
Understood. Okay.
We're just taking advantage of what we have.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Does everyone understand that what we're doing is we're really not trying to ask anybody, I mean, some a little bit on the outside, but by and large, through the community, we're not asking people to create all new events and programs. What we're doing is branding the 250th celebration for this one year.
Oh, this
And
is
this is our
exciting.
logo, by the way.
Can I add something?
Yes, please.
Well, also, if you look at this, and if you look at the calendar of events for the two-week period that we're going to
I don't
focus
know if
on.
I gave them that, but
Plus,
anyway.
plus a year, it's really a marketing plan for the town that will really enhances the history and educate people about the town. And it's really an economic development tool that throughout that year, I'm sure we'll see an increase in patronage to downtown.
Yep.
And
Most
hopefully
definitely.
long-term, it's not just a 1 year that,
Right.
you know, kind of like the Independence Festival
Yep.
or all the events that we bring to this community, the UFO Festival, that hopefully.
They'll keep coming back, right.
Yeah.
And it's also really engages the community at
Yes.
every level.
Yeah.
Speaking of engagement, one of the things that we're looking to do is that we're using the town band twice, I think.
What?
The town band, we're working with them for, appropriate music. But also on one of them, we want to have a drone fly over and do a townwide picture. So, on the first or second Monday in July.
Brass band concert.
Brass band concert. Everybody come on down.
We got
Sounds
some
fun.
great stuff.
Yep.
Terrific. Melissa, you had something?
So Corey and I have been working with Karen and Fran and Caroline, and what we're hoping for tonight is for you to sort of bless this concept of this sponsorship program. And then what we'd like to do is come back in December, have them, like Karen said, have you guys approve the total budget. And then what we would do is any money coming in from the sponsorships would land in a separate line item within the Park and Rec revolving account.
Okay.
And once the budget's improved, then Park and Rec would be able to, process any invoices or anything like that up to the maximum dollar amount that's budgeted. The $5,000 that sits in the non-capital reserve fund, that does need to come back and be requested from the board, but they're doing so many great things but they're little. So if they had to come back to you guys every time, it might get a little frustrating or overwhelming. And so we're hoping that process or that concept would work for you guys, and we'll have that written out for you. So that's why we're asking them to come back.
So can I repeat back to you what you just said?
Absolutely.
So you're going to use the Park and Rec revolving fund to both accept donations and take care of expenses.
To accept sponsorships and take care of it.
But there'll be a separate line item within that revolving fund specifically
And
for
we're not, basically what we're doing is we're shifting everything. We're not using the language donations. We're saying that, even at the $25 level, it's a sponsorship. So people's names will appear, and hopefully that will help in
Sure.
terms of managing donations, which then we have to come to you for.
Right.
And
Sponsorship.
It's all about sponsorships.
Yeah.
But if we had donations, we'd have to come before you.
Right.
With sponsorships, we can work directly with Parks and Recreation.
And because you're anticipating a lot of sponsorships.
Lots.
We already have half.
It sounds.
We have
but
more
the,
than
But
half.
the $5,000 that the voters voted on in March would still have to come before the board
That's
if they
exactly
wanted to
right.
expend that.
And our goal really is, we already have some sponsorships in hand, is we'll hopefully save that $5,000 really for some bigger ticket items as we get further into the year.
Okay, understood.
Right now, we're trying to do some rack cards and printing of these things, and it's at much,
Sure.
incremental rates. So if we can do it expend the money that we've raised in sponsorships, working directly with Park and Rec, it will streamline the process tremendously.
Yeah, I like the plan.
Does that make sense?
It does.
I have one question, it's jumping ahead a little bit. So right now, you're planning on activities between June 27th and July 11th of 2026?
So what we've developed is a core of calendar events that our commission is responsible for during that 2-week period that leads up to the Independence Festival. In putting that core calendar events together, along with all these other PR materials and our website, we're able then to put our arms around other community members, saying, please join us. This is what we are doing. And then we're putting out, requests and join us. Really, it's a join us. And we've already got quite a list of organizations that are wanting to join us, but we needed to start with our core.
Yes, and that's what I was hoping to get out there and keep repeating it whenever you're here.
Yes.
And then the other question I have is, it's again premature probably, but your volunteer list for signing up for events. You'll have something
So on our website, thank you to Bob Glowacki, we've created a Google form, and there'll be a Google form for both sponsorships and a Google form for volunteers. So if people want to sign up to volunteer, they're going to get a T-shirt and a pin, and that's, to be honest, that's why we also need the intern through Parks and Recs to help us facilitate that, because that's a big lift for only 6 people on a committee.
Yeah, they do, similar to the Chili Fest, right? It's
Exactly.
going to be on that same idea. So that's why I'm, again, trying to get it out there to people to look for things like that and plan ahead, so they work around their summer schedule.
I mean, our first event is
vacations.
January 5th, coming out of the Independence Museum, which is in Congress. We're bringing the New Hampshire's draft of the Constitution here, and we've got the New Hampshire Superior Court and Supreme Court presenting over at the Exeter Town Hall, so it's going to be exciting.
Yes, thank you, thank you.
And the volunteer recruitment information is in the sponsorship package.
It's all there.
Perfect.
Terrific, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Then I'd like to formalize, if we may, I would entertain a motion to approve the sponsorship program presented by the 250 Celebration Commission.
So moved.
Second.
It's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Just one last comment. I really do want to thank Corey and Melissa and Parks and Rec for the support they've given to us, because this is a rather unique little commission. We're only doing this for a year, so we've had to put a lot of the logistics together pretty quickly. So I'm very thankful for the support that the town staff is giving.
Thank you for saying that. And thank you for the work you've done.
It's been our pleasure.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a safe holiday.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving.
Okay. Next up, I'm going to return to the Tax Exemption and Credit Advisory Committee recommendation. Several meetings ago, we had the committee come and make a presentation with some recommendations. We told them we did not have a full board that night, and we said we were going to wait and discuss it this evening. In our packet, we have a summary of committee recommendations. Some have changed a little bit since when the committee were here, I believe, if I read it correctly. And then we'll also hear, hopefully from our finance director, any additional information that he may have. So do we have anybody that's going to speak to this evening?
Did you want to speak, Corey?
Okay.
Jeannie?
Is there anyone from the committee?
Yeah.
I'm here.
Okay. Would you like to, is there anything you'd like to add?
Okay if I stand up?
Of course.
I'm better on my feet.
Okay.
No, I wasn't aware of any changes, so that's news to me if that's the case. I think I'm looking at the same report. Right, so we were all here last month, and I'm the only one that was able to make it tonight. Christine is on vacation. So I'm Jeannie Wright. I'm the vice chair of the committee. And again, overall, the recommendations that we're making are from the group consensus decision. This is what we've decided, and we made a recommendation that the elderly exemptions increase by 30%, and that the income limits for the elderly are slightly increased, and then the asset limits are to stay the same. And that overall is for the elderly exemptions. I do want to mention, because Christine would be very upset if I didn't, that Christine does also serve on the budget committee, and she wanted me to be very forthcoming that as a consensus decision that the group made, that we also realize there may be some priorities that need to be made on these, and we wanted folks to know that our number one priority is the elderly exemptions for this coming warrant. We also, the blind exemption, slightly increasing that from 15 to 25. And then the disabled veterans credit is a little interesting because it's really not overall a fiscal change, because in the past they've been able to get the $2,000 credit for certain disabled veterans along with the $500 tax exemption if they qualify. And all we're doing now is combining the two because an RSA has changed that like said you couldn't combine the two. And then we are making the recommendation to the warrant that we do bring to the voters to vote on adding the all veterans tax credit. And that has to mirror the credit that we give now, which is $500. So if you have one that's $500, the other has to be $500 as well. So
I think
overall-
perhaps that's where I misunderstood. I thought that had changed since the last time you presented.
No, those are the same. And I did
Because the memo said it outlined the rationale on the change since you were last here. And I misunderstood that, obviously.
Okay.
So I apologize.
No worries.
Yeah.
I did also, Christine did forward me your email, Corey. Do you want to speak to that, or do you want me to? I'm happy to. Why don't you come up and speak to it? Because I just glanced, yeah. Say that again, I'm sorry.
I'm glad you got that.
I did, yeah. I reviewed it before I came, and it makes sense to me. Go for it.
I'm confused too. I'm better not saying.
Okay, there you go.
So Ms. Wright is referring to the analysis that I sent around this morning. Sorry for the lateness of it, but nonetheless, Janet Down in Assessing just kind of took a look at the value, the property value currently under elderly and blind exemptions, and then what it would look like under the recommendations. And then translated that into what the tax revenue that would be essentially reallocated, right? Because that's what we're talking about doing here, is reallocating to others in the community to help out this population, to see what that sort of looked like. So what you find is that the increase in property value being exempted is about $5.7 million. It goes from $32.8 million to about $38.5 million. So about $5.7 million more of value being exempted. And that translates, using the current year tax rate, to about $107,000. So we're reallocating $107,000 of property taxes among the rest of the town in order to accommodate this population. From some perspective on the tax rate, that 38 million, which would be the new number, the new exempted property, that represents about 19 cents per thousand on the tax rate. So if we have a $18.76 per thousand tax rate, 19 cents of that represents the exemptions. That's about $95 on a $500,000 home's tax bill. So my $9,000 tax bill, $95 of that represents my contribution to helping this population.
To put it another way, that's what the average taxpayer, that's the slack they would pick up in order for us to offer this.
The 95 is the total of what you contribute
to make these exemptions happen.
The total slack. The change is 3 cents, if you will. Okay, so to go from that 32 million of value to 38, it represents 3 cents of change on the rate.
So the $95 is everything?
Correct. Thank you. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So the current program and the extensions that are recommended by the committee.
That's right. So the current program is $80 on a $1,000 house. The new is $95. So
because it's important for people to understand that the taxes don't just go away; they're redistributed over the rest of the pool that doesn't qualify for these exemptions.
We are reallocating $107,000 of property taxes among the
rest of the property taxpayers.
Yes. Yep.
Thank you.
I just want to make sure there's no questions.
Oh,
right?
okay.
And yeah, I just wanted to say, make sure I understand. So yeah, so $15 increase projected on a $500,000 home per taxpayer. So that's what the overall financial impact would be.
That's right.
Great.
Thank you.
If I might give a little bit more perspective.
Please.
No, please.
No, the more we
It's
hit,
really
the more we
important
get.
that people
And I
understand
have one more
it.
question, but I'll wait.
Do you want to go first?
No.
Dan? Okay.
Please.
So I was speaking with Chris today because she called to want to understand this a little bit herself, and she made the good comments like, well, what is this? You know, we talked about the impact to the yous and I's who are paying for this, but what is the impact to the person who is getting the increased valuation exemption. So, and there's a lot of variables in this because you have the increase in the budget, you have increases, so it's not just the increase in the value that's changing year over year, right? We know that the budget goes up, that increases the tax rate. So I can't say with certainty, but here are some general numbers, if you will. So if you take a house that before the reval had a valuation with their exemptions of $73,000. All right, so they had a value, they had the exemptions. They're getting taxed on $73,000. Using the current tax rate, the difference between where they were before the reval and today is about $2,300. If you implement these increases in the exemptions, that drops to about $1,400. So you're going to see someone who had a $2,300 increase in their taxes, that increase dropped to $1,400, so about a $900 savings. Gives you some perspective. Similarly, we have folks who were getting that had a value of $15,000, right? Pretty small valuation. That person would have gone from $387 in property taxes to $3,000. $2,700 increase. That would drop to a $1,700, so about a $1,000 drop for implementing this increase in the exemptions. Now, again, my caveat is that this is a year ago. Budgets go up. There are other variables, but you kind of get a sense of what the impact is to the folks you're trying to assist here.
Thank you. That's helpful.
So my additional question, and I've talked to you about this offline, but I want to bring it into the public arena. I think these recommendations are great. I think this program is great. I do have a concern that maybe, while I trust all of our taxpayers, I have a concern that we may not be verifying as much as we should. And specifically, I don't know if we're verifying on the income limits as much as we should. Do we require folks to include a tax return with their application for these exemptions?
Yes. I don't know that assessing is requiring a tax return. I think that she does this every 5 years, and she requires them to give statements otherwise, but I don't believe she's asking for a tax. I will confirm, but I think she told me that she is.
I would like to see us consider that.
Yeah.
I think, again, I trust everyone, but I also believe because all the other taxpayers are picking up that slack, we should verify.
Yep.
So that's my question and then a comment afterwards.
Can I comment on that really quick? Because I know we talked about this at a couple of the meetings. We talked about the process for verifying. One of the challenges that might be is that a lot of folks that are on fixed incomes don't have to file tax returns.
And I think Janet made that comment to me as well.
Yeah.
But that's not to say
I think if they are at a certain threshold, and most of the times if you're making that amount of money, I mean, it's either or, and I think it's really hard to make it a mandate. And if someone says, I don't file a tax return.
Just to follow up on that, the folks that aren't filing a tax return are not the folks I'm concerned about.
Correct. Okay.
Well, and I also think that there's a way to do some sort of affidavit where it's like, I do not have a tax return because I make under this amount of income. And that's an easy thing to.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you can also verify that if we ever chose to do. But I also think it's just like another level of checks and balances. And if you're gonna attest to that, we are going to believe that, and we can also verify.
Yeah, no, I trust that everyone that's applying for this. But if we're saying this is the limit, we should verify that. Because there is we're redistributing the tax obligation.
That's right.
I hate the word tax burden. We're redistributing the tax obligation amongst a wider pool of folks. And I'm happy to be one of those folks, but I would like some verification. That's it. That's all I have to say.
And I would also add that the committee will be picking back up in December. Like we took November off. We've been meeting for a year, so we will be. It might be something that we could put on to our agenda to discuss as well, to come up with a proposed plan.
I feel strongly that we should do it. Require that tax return to be part of the application.
Yeah, I'll take that up again with Janet.
Thank you.
Thank you for the question.
Yeah.
Comment?
No, don't go anywhere yet. Sorry. Because I just caught something that I didn't earlier when I was communicating with you. So these numbers you gave us are elderly and blind totals, right? The exemptions.
That's right.
They don't include the disabled and the two veterans credits?
The credits, they do not include the credits.
Okay, thank you.
Credits don't, the credits only deal with your actual tax bill as opposed to your property valuation.
Right, but it's still, we don't have that included in any, it's all right. I just wanted to make sure it was clear
Mr. Chair,
that those numbers aren't there.
sorry, I apologize.
It's okay.
I want to make something clear. The only category here that has the income limit is obviously the elderly exemption, and that's what I was talking about. And I didn't make that clear, so.
Thank you. Yep, I just wanted so people know.
So to Selectwoman Belanger's point on the others that aren't included here, is that particularly with the all veterans credit, is there, and I know that's going to be difficult to get any data, but is there any way that we can get some rough estimate within the next month?
You know, Janet was hesitant to try to, you know.
I understand.
I think one of the committee members made some sort of extrapolation.
I remember that.
What the numbers were, and if his numbers were accurate, you would be looking at about $30,000, but I don't know.
That's a rough estimate. I mean, obviously, yep.
That's about a
Yeah,
cent.
I don't think there's any way to tell because we don't have a count of how many veterans are in the
Understood.
state. But Mark did a great job at kind of looking at comparison.
He put quite a
Similar
bit of work into
communities.
the
Yeah,
research
he
he'd done. So.
I
You
have the
have it.
meeting minutes.
Love it.
From what he said.
Perfect.
Where he pulled the data from was the Department of Revenue. So thank you.
Awesome.
So if it were $30,000, it would be a cent on the tax rate and $5 on the $500,000 home.
Okay, thank you for that. It's helpful. I mean, it's not, you know, it's not, yeah.
Just having it out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
So thank you both. Bringing it back to the board. Wishes of the board. We don't, you know, we are looking to, or the recommendation was to consider some or all of it to be put on the warrant. We obviously don't need to make that decision this evening. We can if everyone's comfortable. But thoughts?
Could I start?
Please.
My concerns about verification, I don't want them to hold up this. I like what the committee has done. I like what they've recommended, and I'm in favor of it. So whenever you as chair are ready to move forward, I am ready to put this on the warrant or put my support behind putting it on the warrant, and I will vote in favor. If we're recommending...
All of the recommendations.
Yeah, if we're recommending to the voters, I don't know if we would do that on this, but I would vote to recommend it to the voters in the public hearing in January.
I have a question.
Please.
Do we have a separate warrant article for each category?
I think that would probably be,
We would work with
Wise
Mitchell
to do
Group,
that,
but
yeah.
that is my understanding that it would need to be a separate warrant article.
But for each category, not this whole sweeping change.
Right, my understanding, and I will confirm this for you, but elderly exemptions would be one, blind exemption, disabled veteran, and then all veterans credit, I believe is how we would chunk that, but I will confirm that for you.
which makes sense.
Yeah.
What about the oh, there's no change, never mind.
That's a good question, though. Thank you for asking that.
I won't repeat what Dan said, but I will say I agree with everything he said.
Okay. Selectwoman Cowan.
Yeah, no, I'm totally fine. I do think that income verification is important as long as we make sure we are asking the right questions.
Yeah, I think I've thought about it a lot, and I think that is what we need to zero in on in terms of verification. I'm less concerned about the other qualification is the asset limit. I'm less concerned about that. As I would go through and sign these elderly exemptions, my first turn on the board, that first 6 years, I remember thinking, some of this doesn't feel quite right. And again, I trust everyone, but I would like, for those property taxpayers who are picking up this burden, gladly, in many cases, I would like some type of verification.
Obligation.
obligation. Thank you.
Because I like that word better too.
Yeah.
But I like what you suggested, Selectwoman Cowan, for the verification. Obviously, having not having you have to submit this, but having an affidavit if you don't have that, or some form of, and that's something.
If you have a tax return, it
Right.
should be submitted.
Correct.
If you don't have one, you can attest that you don't have one.
For this reason.
Right.
Yeah.
Not because you just didn't file your taxes.
Right. You got a lot bigger problems than that if you didn't file your taxes.
And whether I misunderstood or not, I'm really happy to see that we're making the recommendation to adopt the all veterans tax credit. I think I made my stance pretty clear the last time you were here, and that obviously hasn't changed. So
Yeah, there are only like 5 towns
Three.
around us.
Three.
That don't do it, yeah, no.
We don't want to be on that list.
We definitely do not.
We like being on the forefront of things, but we certainly don't
Veterans
want
are
to be.
veterans, and I like this change. I'm glad this happened at the state level so that we can adopt it if we choose.
I'd like to ask, too, if there's any members of the public that wish to speak to this. Okay. Please.
Obviously, my name is Keith Whitehouse. I'm 61 West Side Drive. Obviously, I would thank you for your support of the All Veterans Credit. That's the nature of my visit tonight. And there are a lot of us that would like that. Not more than $30,000 worth, though, I don't think. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Whitehouse.
If I could.
Please.
I like the way you phrased it, Keith, that it was less about the money and more about the recognition.
Yes, that's my belief. I feel in life, lately, especially everything's about the money. The money, the money, the money. And this issue really could be about the money for somebody who might need it, but ultimately, it's not about the money. Thank you.
Thank you, Keith. So, okay. Make a motion. I would entertain a motion to. I would entertain a motion to adopt the recommendations made by the Tax Exemption and Credit Advisory Committee and task the interim town manager to work with council to develop the respective warrant articles to go on the 2026 Town of Exeter March election.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Thanks to the committee.
Yes. Thank you. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Have a safe holiday.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you all.
Thanks.
Have a nice Thanksgiving, Keith. Happy Thanksgiving. So we have Mr. Cronin and Mr. Dalton here for, I think, the rest of the night. We have a couple of discussion items that they are going to present to us, and if the board will allow me, when they're finished, I'd like to skip down to the first two permits and approvals, which involve them, so we can get them on their way home after a very long day.
Yes.
So, the first order of business this evening, we had two public hearings under RSA 41-14A on the groundwater easement. Mr. Cronin spoke at both. We did not have any members of the public, I don't think, that came to ask any questions or make any comments. And under 41-14A, after the two public hearings, the board this evening must take a vote. So I don't know, Steve, did you want to just summarize anything, or do you want us to vote?
No, you summed it up pretty well. This is really the final step in the process, so we're asking the board tonight to vote to acquire or move forward with acquiring the easement and authorize the interim town manager or the designee to move forward with all the easement documents and acquisition process.
And just a reminder that this easement was included in the warrant article that passed. So this is part of what the voters have already voted.
Correct, yeah.
to move on forward with. So, Any questions for Mr. Cronin? And seeing none, I would entertain a motion. Bless you.
Thank you.
One more?
Maybe.
I'm good.
Okay.
For now.
I would entertain a motion that the Select Board, pursuant to the authority granted under RSA 4114A, approve and authorize the acquisition of temporary and permanent easements from Phillips Exeter Academy for the Drinkwater Road groundwater supply well, and further authorize the interim town manager or their designee to execute all related documents and to take any additional administrative actions necessary to implement the vote.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Thank you for your work on this.
Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Next, we have Mr. Dalton's going to talk about the drinking water disinfectant.
Yes, good evening. We're required to take disinfection byproduct sampling every quarter. As you guys know, several years ago, we switched our disinfection from chlorine to chloramines, which becomes a challenge in a drought year specifically. A couple years ago, the last drought we had before this one, we went into level 4. We ended up having to flush excessively, flush hydrants, empty towers, the tower, Crossroad Tower on the outskirt of town. So this year we tried to do attempt a different solution to it by raising the chlorine, the chloramine dosage, so that it would last all the way to the end of the system and maintain the proper residual. The good news is we didn't really have to do any excessive flushing. We didn't waste any water in a drought year. The bad news is by having the extra disinfectant in the distribution system, it caused us to have a violation on the TTHM samples for quarter 4 with the rolling average for all of it. So we just wanted to give you guys a heads up that notification, we received the violation notification, and we have to do a public outreach of mailings to everybody. So those letters are at the printer now and will be mailed shortly.
Okay.
Before the end of this week.
And what, if any, effect does this have on folks at home?
So it's not an acute issue. It's more of a chronic issue. So over a long period of time, people with certain health issues could become affected with this over a long-term period of exposure. We're expecting that it's not going to last very long. We're going to try to mitigate it. We've already reduced the dosages of chloramine to the drinking water supply. So we're thinking that we're going to probably be out of violation in spring, the first quarter, the first quarter, winter of 2026.
Okay.
I have 2 questions. First of all, so this is directly related to the drought?
Yes, I would say it is, just because of the way we tried to mitigate wasting water.
Right. And second,
we walk kind of a very fine line between, maintaining a measured residual in the system, trying to prevent nitrification, and then not having to waste an exorbitant amount of water to try to address those things. So, as Steve said, it's really a balancing act. You need kind of everything to go right for you, and unfortunately this year with the drought, it was, the one variable that pushed us over the edge.
and then my second question is, I know that we had these kind of violations regularly back in the teens.
Yes.
And we undertook the voters actually approved a process whereby we eliminated TTHMs, if I'm remembering correctly.
It helps mitigate it. It won't eliminate it.
Mitigate it.
Yes.
So that we wouldn't have these regular.
Correct.
And that was very successful until this year.
Until this year.
We have not had a violation like this.
We have not.
Since we undertook that process to mitigate.
That is correct. I believe.
What year was that?
2019.
Thank you.
Yep.
Good question. Thank you. Any other questions?
Oh, I'm all set. Thank you.
So is it safe to say that other communities nearby may be experiencing the same?
They could be if they're using chloramine for disinfection and have a level 4 water restriction in place. Yeah, I would say there's a good likelihood of it.
Okay. Please.
And this pertains to the surface water treatment, not to the groundwater treatment.
Correct. Exactly. Surface water is, disinfection byproducts are a reaction of chlorine and organics which are not found in, which are primarily found in surface water. So the groundwater, the more, and that was the other part of it also. We did have Gilman Lane well offline since June, so we didn't have the supply for repairs. We didn't have the supply of groundwater that we normally would. It was supposed to be a quick cleaning and turned into more. We got that back online in October.
So you had a little bit of a perfect storm with the drought and the repairs on Gilman Lane.
Yes.
And this is one of the reasons why we're developing a wider suite of water resources.
Yes.
We just approved the easement on Drinkwater Lane. That's going to give us more groundwater resources.
Yes.
Where chloramine and organics will not be an issue.
That's correct.
Yep. We're also in design for the surface water treatment plant right now, and we're looking at technologies that have enhanced organic removal. You know, ideally what we're trying to do is remove organics as early in the process as possible so that we're not having that mixture of organics and chlorine on the back end that are creating these issues in the system.
Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Selectwoman Belanger.
Yes, I did think of a question. So next quarter, when you do the testing, does it all clear? Will people also get notified of that, or will we just put it on the website?
It would just come out on the website, and then the results for this all go out on the CCR, the Consumer Confidence Report, every year annually, so.
Yeah, just in case anyone's looking for it, they know to check the website.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
And between then and now, you're always welcome back here to update us and update folks at home as you see fit.
Okay, excellent.
Right. Great, thank you. Next, Mr. Cronin's going to talk, we're back to West Side Drive. Seem to be there every meeting, which is nice because we're finally making progress there. I think you met with the Water and Sewer Committee recently. So.
Yep, so I included a pretty lengthy memo in your packet sort of explaining what we're looking to do here, but ultimately we're looking for a transfer from the Sewer Reserve Fund to fund a private drain service cost-sharing program for the residents within West Side Drive as part of the West Side Drive infrastructure project. One of the goals of the project was to try to reduce I&I within the neighborhood. One of the primary sources of that are sump pumps and yard drains. A lot of these residents face stormwater challenges and groundwater challenges on their individual properties. What we're looking to do here is fund a program that will provide them with a private drain service up to their property line, and then asking them to share in a cost to extend that from the property line to their house. We've done this on a few other projects, namely J.D. Hill and the Salem Street project, so we use that as a model for this particular program. We presented that to the Water Sewer Advisory Committee with a few different funding scenarios and some anticipated participation rates. Based on that, they recommended an $1,100 maximum per property. So residents would pay that we would upfront the cost to them up to $1,100, and then they would be asked to pay that money back over an extended period of time. So $100 to buy in initially, and then pay the remaining balance back over a 5-year period. So this $244,000 roughly would fund the entirety of that program, assuming that we get roughly 90% participation. We still need to roll this out to the neighborhood and get commitments from residents, so we don't know exactly how many people are going to participate at this point, but this is a good way to incentivize them and to lessen the burden on them to take advantage of the program.
Any questions?
He already answered my question about participation.
I have a question.
Please.
Excuse me, so it's for a cost of up to $1,100?
So we'll fund the town will fund the entirety of the cost of getting the private drain service to their property. We're asking them to fund up to $1,100, and anything beyond that, the town would fund. So we anticipate that, on average, it's about 28 feet per house to bring it up to close to the foundation. So they're sharing in that cost.
What happens if you come across a situation where it's not just a straight dig up and straight shot into the house, but there might be something like a tree in the way?
So we're working with residents on that. So as part of the project, we've staked out locations for these private drain services, and our resident engineer is coordinating with residents to try to find the best path to tie their either existing sump pumps in or provide them with a location that'll work for them in the future. So we're going to head off all those before they become an issue.
Good, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Chartrand?
I did attend the meeting last Thursday, I believe it was, with Mr. Kelly and Mr. Mangan, and we all agreed that this was, based on our experience on J.D. Hill and Salem Street, this is a great idea and a great program, and we did vote to recommend this to the board.
And I appreciated you including the minutes here for us to review. That was helpful. Anything else? Nope. Okay. Then I would entertain a motion to approve a transfer of $244,000 from the Sewer Reserve Fund to support the West Side Drive Private Drain Service Program in accordance with the funding and repayment terms recommended by the Water Sewer Advisory Committee.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. We're going to skip down to the first two permits and approvals. The first, I believe, Mr. Dalton, is yours. The Weston and Sampson?
Yep, Weston and Sampson. So a few weeks ago, I was here requesting to approve the grant that we received for $60,000 for lead service line inventory. I have a contract from Weston and Sampson for $60,000, which is fully funded by that grant, to continue with their progress that they've been working on for the lead service line inventory. It is something that's mandatory, mandated by EPA. It's something that's reoccurring. Every year we have to mail out letters notifying the people of their unknown service lines. So the less we can whittle away at, get down, the less letters we'll have to send, and the less we'll have to go out and actually do what they call potholing to identify what the materials are in the street. Weston and Sampson has been great in assisting with this process. We just mailed out all the lead service line inventory unknowns today, as a matter of fact. So I would just like to get the Weston and Sampson agreement approved.
Sure.
How many letters went up?
Roughly 1,600.
So I would like to note that because of the $60,000 grant, we were able to reduce our CIP ask in 2026. We reduced that by $60,000 because this offsets that. So overall, it's a savings to the town.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, then I would entertain a motion to approve the agreement from Weston and Sampson in the amount of $60,000 for the continuation of the lead service line inventory project, and to authorize the interim town manager or their designee to sign the associated paperwork with such agreement on behalf of the town of Exeter.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Cronin?
Lastly, we have a request for a contract approval with Vortex Services. Early in the design for the Front Linden and Pine intersection improvement project, we uncovered some issues within the sewer and drainage systems that we needed to address. We submitted a CIP request to do that in 2025, and that was funded by the voters. Originally, we had looked at an open cut process for making these repairs, which certainly would have been a lot more involved. We were approached actually by a few vendors with some alternative options for cast-in-place pipe. We were able to get in, do a comprehensive assessment of these pipes, and they came up with a recommended rehabilitation program that includes relining. We decided to go with UV relining because we'll be able to do it this winter and keep this project on schedule. So we'll be able to begin heavy construction in the spring. This is going to handle both the sewer and drainage systems. We'd be looking to start early in December if this contract is approved tonight.
Fantastic. Any questions? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to approve a contract with Vortex Services in the amount of $217,325 for the rehabilitation of sewer and drain infrastructure for the Front Linden and Pine Street intersection improvement project.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all very much.
Can I just say thank you for the bridge on London Street? It's nice to not see detour signs. High Street's done, that wasn't you, but still, We have a flow going again.
We're very happy with how it came out. We had a terrific contractor that.
It looks great.
Yeah, they were great.
And people I know have been like ecstatic that they have the bridge back used, so thank you.
All kidding aside, I know you've been here a lot, and we appreciate the time, but we're making some really good progress on a lot of different projects, and I can't tell you how appreciative we are of the efforts of you, your staff, and everybody at Public Works, so thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks, Steve.
Have a great
Happy
Thanksgiving, both.
Thanksgiving,
Thank you.
too.
As well.
You all and your families.
And everyone named Stephen.
It feels that way sometimes.
We should have all the Stevens in the room at one time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Good night, guys. Okay, so moving backwards.
Yeah, we have.
No, I'm seriously, we're moving
We are,
backwards.
I know.
Before we get to G, on H, I'm going to ask the board to indulge the interim town manager and me and table the conversation on the FY26 transportation funding applications as the interim town manager has requested some additional time to work with Mr. Tovey to fine tune the presentation. So if there's no objections, we'll table that.
No objection. Tabled.
And that will bring us to the downtown mobile vending bid acceptance, the bid we opened at our last meeting. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Pretty self-explanatory. All of the departments approved. There was a single applicant, and you have it in your packet, which is Clyde's Cupcake, and we're just looking for approval of that.
Yes.
Okay, if there's no other comment or question, I would entertain a motion to offer the 2026 Downtown Mobile Vending License Agreement to Clyde's Cupcakes.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the biggest cupcake on the agenda. On that note.
Thank you, Mr. Chartrand.
You're welcome.
There's a motion in a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It's unanimous. Thank you. And we will welcome Clyde back for another year of cupcakes in that spot. And every time I drive by, there's always a long line, so I'm happy to see that. Okay, I guess, Madam Clerk, I'm going to pass it to you, if I may.
Yes. Thank you. I had to tag it because we've been all over the place. Okay.
Well, if I get off, just kick me, and we'll get back on if I miss my spot.
Well, there's a piece of wood, so can I?
You can do whatever you
Never mind, joking. We're all tired here, excuse us. So I am going to move for the following abatements. Map 11, Lot 18, Unit 21, in the amount of $177.90 for the tax year 2024.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Map 87, Lot 14, Unit 5B, in the amount of $587 for the tax year 2025.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Map 104, Lot 79, Unit 417, in the amount of $886.25. Oh, sorry, $886 for the tax year 2025.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
So I have two more that have been added in, Joanna, because you're really good at following along with these. Map 11, Lot 18-21, in the amount of $177.79 for the tax year 2024.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
And one final one, map 11, lot 18-21, in the amount of $177.79 for the tax year 2025.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm pausing briefly so that I get my spot back so we don't miss anything. Here we are. Okay, we have several donations to consider this evening from Parks and Rec, and they're fairly straightforward. Ms. Roy, did you want to speak to the first one, which is for the grand opening on December 8th?
Sure. So CDFA is the organization that gave us the grant to update the new multi-generational community center, which is so exciting because we're getting ready for our big grand opening. And what they do is they have offered to help us with $2,000 for that grand opening, which would be for light food, some crafts and activities to have done. And yeah, it's very, very exciting.
All right, great. Any questions? And seeing none, I would entertain a motion to accept the donation of up to $2,000 from CDFA to support the ribbon cutting ceremony and open house for the new multi-generational community center.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have a donation from Riverwoods.
So Riverwoods is redoing one of their buildings, and there's puzzle tables, chairs, all kinds of furniture that Park and Rec was offered, and they're going to be accepting some of that to furnish the new community center.
Wonderful. Any questions?
I popped in there last 2 weeks ago, maybe it was, and it looks wonderful. And oh my gosh, thank you, Riverwoods. That's it.
Okay. I would entertain a motion to accept the donation from Riverwoods of 3 puzzle tables, 12 puzzle table chairs, 3 to 4 benches, and 2 to 3 armchairs to be placed in the new multi-generational community center.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes. I'm going to recuse myself.
Fair. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 4-0 with Selectman Chartrand recusing himself. Thank you. Next, we have a donation from Amanda Kelly for a 5x8 deck.
Yep, so Amanda's family built a deck about 2 years ago. It's in really good shape, and they have actually decided to take some renovation in their house in a different direction, which is very exciting because all of the supplies are basically new. So Park and Rec would like to take that deck and utilize that at the new community center.
Terrific.
Yeah, it's great.
All right, well, thank you to Amanda and her family. I would entertain a motion to accept the donation of a 5x8 deck from Amanda Kelly to be utilized as either a shed base or an additional platform at the new multi-generational community center.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes. We thank Amanda and her family again. Next, we have a cash donation of $1,000 from Jessica and Michael Christofferson for the holiday lights. It's pretty self-explanatory. So I would entertain a motion to accept the cash donation of $1,000 from Jessica and Michael Christofferson to be used for holiday lights.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
I'm going to step away for a moment.
Okay.
So we've previously accepted this donation of $100, which was for our Park and Rec department to buy tea from Nancy Belanger, which was very generous. However, the final balance ended up, instead of being $100, it ended up being $105 with 52 cents. And so we're hoping we can make that adjustment.
Okay.
It's a $5.52 adjustment.
Can I just say one
Please.
thing about that? I just want to point out that Parks and Rec, I think Jennifer, shopped, and they got $45 worth more of tea because of the timing and their shopping, and she's
Oh, wow.
very thrifty.
Great.
So I just wanted to throw that in there, that ultimately they purchased about $150 worth of tea.
Terrific.
Yes.
Thank you. So if we've already accepted the $100 donation, do we need to
I would
rescind that?
Yes.
And then, okay. Do we remember who made the motion?
Oh, That I don't know. Do we need to know?
It wasn't the last meeting.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on.
August 18th.
There we go.
Wow.
I'm impressed, Joanna.
Mr. Chartrand moved and Ms. Cowan seconded.
I'd be happy
That's
to
why
make
we
a
keep-
motion to rescind my original motion.
And will rescind my second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? So then I would entertain a motion to accept a donation from Nancy Belanger in the amount of $105.52 to be used to purchase the coffee and teas for the 10 Hampton Road.
It's only appropriate that I make that motion again. So I will.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 4-0. Selectwoman Belanger abstains. Thank you for your donation. And thank you to Parks and Rec for,
Oh, they did awesome
Doing the
with
shopping.
purchasing. Oh, my gosh. And they have it in-house
nice.
in time for the opening.
Okay, we have 3 special event permits that are coming to the board, I think primarily because alcohol will be served.
Correct, yep.
The first of which is it's right here in front of me. The first one is for the Exeter Area Scholarship Fundraiser that's held annually at the Town Hall. This comes before us every year. And it's going to be held from on Tuesday, December 9th from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Number of attendees anticipated to be between 250, 300 people. And again, this is an annual fundraiser event that comes before the board. Are there any questions?
I have none.
And seeing none, I would entertain a motion to permit the Exeter Area Scholarship Fundraiser to be held on December 9th, 2025, from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Exeter Town Hall, and further authorize the serving of alcoholic beverages.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And the next one is Pearpoint Park, American Independence Museum, sorry. And the name of the event is In Congress at Exeter, and this, I believe, is what Ms. Pryor was alluding to earlier. To be held on January 5th at, well, they're looking to permit the town hall from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., and again, alcohol will be served. Are there any questions or comments on this? Nope. Okay. Then I would
Constitution Day.
I would entertain a motion to permit the American Independence Museum to utilize the town hall for their In Congress at Exeter program on January 5th, 2026. Start time 8 a.m., end time 9 p.m., and to authorize the serving of alcohol.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. I'll speak to the next one. The Pearpoint Park Stakeholders Advisory Committee is looking at different ways in which to fundraise to go towards the design and study of the park and also ultimately building the park. And one of the events that they came up with, and they're going to be partnering with the Chamber of Commerce, I think in part that's to utilize their liquor license. They're going to do a wine tasting on February 13th, day before Valentine's Day. It's also Friday the 13th. But it's the day before Valentine's Day.
Lucky.
That cancels that out.
Galentine's Day.
What's it called?
Galentine's Day.
So
I haven't heard that term before.
it's an exciting opportunity. I think it'll be fun. And I know that Steve Jones, the chair of the committee, has been working offline and informally with Tony. Tony's given him some wine advice. So it looks to be a promising evening. So are there any questions on this one? No? Then I would entertain a motion to permit the Pearpoint Park Stakeholder Advisory Committee and Exeter Area Chamber of Commerce's Exeter Wine Showcase to be held on February 13th, 2026 at the Exeter Town Hall, start time 2 p.m., end time 10 p.m., and to authorize the serving of alcohol.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Ms. Roy, Town Manager's Report, please.
All right. So I'd like to thank the board again for the Employee Appreciation Days. The staff is very appreciative. As a reminder, town offices are open this Wednesday until 4:30. The town clerk, as is her purview and right to do so, is closing the clerk's office at 11:30 on Wednesday. All town offices are closed on Thursday, Thanksgiving, and Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. Myself and Finance Director Stevens attended the Budget Recommendations Committee Capital Improvement Night, which was their final BRC meeting until the BRC chair is going to come and present their recommendations to you folks on December 8th. I have continued to work again with Director Stevens and our internal project construction team on the police and fire substation. Very exciting. Site work has started. They're moving a lot of boulders. We went down and checked it out. In fact, spoke with one of the chiefs today that they went down and got to take a look, and it's pretty interesting. So check it out if you're around. As you heard today, I've been working with the 250th committee, so that's going really well. DPW Director Cronin and I have been meeting to discuss how we can improve our sidewalk and crosswalk snow clearing. That's not, a flip of a switch, easy thing to fix with staffing and everything, but we are trying to figure out ways to be more effective and efficient after a storm. So we're working on that. Finance Director Stevens and I attended the annual New Hampshire Municipal Association Conference November 19th and 20th, which was fantastic. We attended a really interesting session on how to utilize AI in municipal government, and also multiple sessions, but another session on all the different revolving accounts, and it's always good to remind ourselves of what we can and can't do with them and that kind of stuff. So it's really great conference. And as a reminder, next week is on next Thursday, not Thanksgiving, but the following week, is our holiday block party from December 4th from 4 to 7. So come on downtown, turn the lights on, Santa's coming, arts and crafts, gingerbread, festival of trees, all kinds of stuff, DJ music. It's a really nice time. And then after that, on Saturday, December 6th at 5:30, we have our annual holiday parade. This year's theme is a whimsical winter stroll. So hopefully everybody can join us for the parade. And that's my report for today.
Just one question, so everyone knows this. Town Clerk's office, because they're closing early on Wednesday, they are still here on their normal late night on Tuesday, correct?
Yes.
7 o'clock?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want the public
And
to
presumably
know.
they've posted that?
Yes, they've posted it on the website, and they'll be posting physical signs on the doors here in the building.
Thank you. And for those of us that want to participate in the parade, do you know what time?
I will
Can you get
find
that
out
for
what
us?
time that we all need to meet. Yep.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Okay, thank you for your report. Select Board Committee reports. Selectwoman Gilman, we can start with you, please.
Okay, let's see. Had an energy committee, and we had a couple of good pieces of information. The window dressers that we're hosting again this year, the indoor panels, have 38 orders and ordering 251 inserts, and there's still time to ask to be measured for it. And we're also looking for volunteers, and we do have 2 students from the the high school sustainability club, and they're going to
Nice.
come as volunteers and help out with that. They're very interested. And that Jack Frost, it's got a real name. We call it the Jack Frost Grant. That if you remember, Kristen and Renee Allen did the work for it, and we were one of 5
I think so, yeah.
communities.
Yeah.
That started to pick up finally because we have to spend it all before the end of December. So they have 32 grants and being matched by New Hampshire Saves and Unitil. So someone can get a substantial amount of weatherization done with this one grant that we have and our help from the others. The Facilities Committee meeting, Mr. Chartrand, do you want to do that one or shall I?
I can do it.
Okay. What else? The 250th you've heard today. The other thing that I've done is I belong to the Regulation and Legislative Advisory Committee for CPCNH, our energy provider. And we mostly went over the bills that are coming up in the House that we may be interested in, and to rate them as, definitely watch, maybe watch, because right now all you have is the titles of things, and so you can't see all of the text of the bill. But we also talked about there's various things that the Public Utilities Commission, which oversees all the utilities or makes rules for all the utilities in the state, and they have had this case with Eversource, where Eversource said, "Oh, whoopsie, we didn't charge enough for this past year," and went to the PUC because they had a proposal to come up and make themselves even. And the fix was to have a set amount, a set rate for the whole year instead of how we do changes every 6 months. So it covers different seasons. And they're going to have a standard rate, and it will be automatically increased every October, no matter how much it is. no matter how much energy, like we might increase or decrease, but they're going to increase at least $2 a year. So we are actually, the CPCNH has actually given evidence or testimony against that finding, and so it was put there, and now it's withdrawn, and then there's been lots of people talking at each other, and so I don't know the status of it, except for Eversource thinks they're done. And that is it.
Okay, thank you very much.
That was very confusing, I'm sure.
I followed you. Selectwoman Belanger, please.
Okay, so I had a Housing Advisory Committee meeting on November 14th, where we met David Walker, who is the new Director of Rockingham Planning Commission. So that was great. He's the first meeting he came to since he's been appointed to that position. A few things we talked about. We did a housing map before COVID, and it had never got introduced. So we talked with Mr. Rucker about working with Rob to get that ready, updated, because the data was about density and taxes and things like that. So we discussed that. We talked about the possibility of having a community listening session for the public to talk about what they would like to see, which I think is really important, especially after the planning board meeting we had, where a few people were, had some opinions they wanted to share. Excuse me, and that we could introduce the map and not try to glaze people's eyes over with the data. Just try to introduce it, a preliminary. We talked about the possibility of another walking tour. We had a pretty successful walking tour, again, before COVID, and we had quite a few people from other towns. It was a regional, just to walk around, see what density looks like.
Did we do that after COVID? I remember.
I don't think it was after. I can't remember.
I can remember.
Anyway,
yeah.
yes. To me, everything was before COVID, so it may be, I don't think it was, but anyway. And a possible charrette, another charrette. We haven't done one of those in a while. And the director of the Exeter Housing Authority hopefully is going to be coming to our December meeting, because we've learned that there are more opportunities that they are allowed to look at now that would include workforce housing and working with a town, a municipality, for partnerships. So we want to expand on that a little bit, talk to him, see what that's about, and then go from there. So that was that meeting. And the next one, excuse me, I went to the Budget Recommendation Committee meeting on the November 12th and the 18th, and then the Planning Board meeting on the 20th. I could probably sit here for half an hour, but I won't do that to you guys, but I will summarize it to say we talked about zoning, and we had two young men, sorry, you two, but everyone's young to me as I get older, and it turned into an amazingly wonderful collaborative discussion. There was a lot of back and forth, a lot of listening to each other, different ages and perspectives, and which is really important. But some of it was about the parking. One of the questions that came up, that one of the proposals they want to include is bike racks in projects. So we did talk about that a little bit. We're going to talk about it some more. They've been invited to come back to the next meeting. But what came up is, no, I'm not sure what happened to our bike racks. We used to have a few bike racks around town. So could somebody look in to see what happened to them? I know.
They move.
Pardon me?
They move.
Okay, I don't see any around town, so I'd like to know what happened to them.
There is still one in the bump out on Water Street, on the northern side of Water Street.
Thank you. I did not know. Because I know we used to have one right in front of the building.
Yeah.
It's rarely used, but it's there.
Well, okay, good to know. Thank you for that. And I neglected to say it was Ben Hodgen and Silas, and I apologize, Silas. I did not catch your last name, but I will do better next time. So they're going to come with some revisions after going back and forth. We really think this is going to be probably a much longer discussion. So, but everyone on the planning board was really excited for what they brought forward and to continue their conversation. But we did have a few, and I apologize because I'm working off of like two things, but we were assigned specifically in our packet, we had a few. So one was to amend Article 2 definition, so that was recommended to do, and then amend Section 7 to add a new paragraph for permitted uses, and that one was just to comply with some, the first one, I'm sorry, was to comply with recent state legislation. The second one I was talking about was just to get the shoreline ordinances to clarify them so that they were the same. And then Article 4, this was an amendment that was requested by staff based on some conflicts for use, specifically animal boarding and kennels. The board did not weigh in on that other than to ask for some more information from staff for our next meeting, which we'll also be discussing zoning. We voted to amend a subdivision and site plan review regulation, specifically section 7.5 and 7.6, to correspond with mail kiosks and what the post office is expecting. So that we voted to recommend that. And then the final one was to include an amendment to ensure that professional standards are being met in applicable cases for the site plan review regulations, specifically section 7.2 for landscape plans, that one required they have to have a stamp. And just like we've been running into problems where applicants have basically been expecting one of our planning board members who does that for a living to kind of plan it for them. So that's another one that was recommended.
Perfect, thank you.
That was a lot, I'm sorry.
No, thank you.
It's like a busy night.
It
It was a
was.
busy night.
So I asked about the bike rack. There's a question I do have. Because none of us knew it, and none of us had the same planning board books. So, our next meeting is December 11th, and we're going to talk about zoning. And one of the questions was whether the proposed zoning language can be altered. Keeping in mind, we had no staff support, so it was a little awkward. We're so used to having Dave that, so one of the questions was, if we have an ordinance, the kennel one, for example, can we alter, because it's a public hearing, can we alter the language at that meeting or not? So if somebody could let us know.
Yep.
And when the last day, the planning board can recommend any zoning warrant articles.
Sure.
That was another question, and I didn't have the answer to it, so, thank you. And now I am really done.
Great, thank you. Selectman McCowen.
I have nothing to report in terms of committees. However, I would like to take just a moment to update everybody here about what happened in the municipal elections in terms of the impact of House Bill 1569, which is a bill that requires documentary proof of citizenship to register to vote, or if you have changed your name because of whatever, you got married, you got divorced, you decided you wanted to change your name.
And just to be clear, this was the November?
This is the November municipal elections. So combined with the municipal elections that were held across the state in March, we have had reports of at least 244 people being turned away who should have been able to register to vote, some of whom were voters who were new registrants, many of whom were voters whose ID or name did not match their name, and they did not know that they had to provide proof of citizenship. So this is something where eligible voters are being turned away. I think it is up to us as the election administrators of this town to really drive home what is needed and the impacts of what this could mean in terms of who is eligible to vote, who is participating in our democracy, and who is being suppressed from voting. And the other thing that we have to think about is we have a large absentee voting population, and the changes to the absentee voting requirements are onerous and potentially unconstitutional, but it is working its way through the court system. And so what I am really worried about also is the legislature, the current legislators, who are trying to purge our voter files. So if you do not, for example, now, the current law says, if you have not voted in 2 presidential elections, then you are removed from the rolls and you have to re-register if you want to come vote. Now, that is, good housekeeping. If we were, enrolled in this program called ERIC, that information, we would be able to switch between states and towns so that you could say, oh, well, this person has popped up in another town. So do they live there? Great. Then we just remove them from the rolls because you want to keep your rolls clean, but you also do not want to take somebody's right to vote away if they have missed an election or 2 because they weren't able to participate, whatever they were doing. And then all of a sudden they've been registered to vote in Exeter for years and years. They show up thinking, well, I've always voted here, and whoops, I forgot for the last, 2 years. And now all of a sudden I have to bring my passport or my birth certificate, which might not match my current name. I mean, the requirements that our citizens in New Hampshire, and specifically our constituents in Exeter, are undergoing is absurd, and we have to do everything we can to make sure that every single person who wants to vote in this town is armed with the kind of information that they need, and we are pushing back to make sure that every single person can vote that is eligible to vote.
I agree. It's just,
Thank you for letting.
Thank you very much.
And then the other thing that I want to say, and why I am reporting these numbers, is there is nothing in state statute that requires the Secretary of State or towns to notify anybody about the number of people who are turned away. So we only know this because there is a nonpartisan voter observer program that is in place with volunteers in polling places around the state. So the likely impact of this legislation is actually much higher because we are relying on people to either observe this happening or for people to self-report and identify and say I was turned away even though I was eligible to vote. And this is blatant voter suppression.
So then, oh, I'm sorry, Dan.
No, go ahead.
So the number you gave us then is what they have, but there could be many more.
Is what was observed and what was reported. So like self-reported.
Self-reported.
Like I tried to go vote, I couldn't vote, here's what happened.
Yes, but there's not a number from the Secretary of State because there's no provision to do that.
There's no provision to do that, and they do not count or have any sort of interest in understanding what the impact of this legislation is. So the potential impacts are much bigger. We know of 244 people.
Mr. Chair, would it be appropriate to perhaps pull together a meeting of the town clerk, the town moderator, the supervisors of checklist, and some portion of the select board to talk about procedures?
I think that's an excellent idea.
Our town election in March.
So, Ms. Roy, can you pull that together?
Yep.
Probably can't be a quorum of the select board.
No, I think obviously if you can make time, Selectwoman Cowan.
I would be delighted to make time. And thank you for your attention because this is something that is like.
And since we could have two, I wouldn't mind tagging along too.
I want to go.
You're a state rep.
I know, but
I'd
she
be
has
happy
more
to be
information than I
represented by
do.
our chair and vice chair.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Selectman
Thanks for the
Chartrand.
personal.
Yep. I attended 4 meetings over the last 2 weeks. On Wednesday, the 12th, I attended the Concom meeting where they took up a proposal for an auto dealer on Portsmouth Ave. They did recommend to the state that they not approve that request. So again, the Concom doesn't approve things, they make recommendations. They recommended that application to the state for wetlands impacts not be approved. On Tuesday, the 18th of November, I attended the BRC meeting that took up CIP matters. On Wednesday, the 19th, at 5:30, along with Selectwoman Gilman, I attended the Facilities Advisory Committee. We talked about several things, but the two highlights were kind of a review of where the public safety building was. And Corey, there was a request, because I could not dredge up the proper information to give them. There was a request that you attend the next meeting on the 7th of January at 5:30 to give the committee a little fuller report on where we are. There was one specific concern in that meeting by one member about what exposure we might have on the site work, and I couldn't grab that you had reported that our representative had kind of put together a similar kind of contract that we had with the siphons that limited our exposure. I was not able to convey that to him because my brain doesn't work as fast as it used to. So I'm hoping that you can attend on the 7th and allay concern. Thank you. And then finally, on Thursday the 20th, as I mentioned earlier, I attended that Water and Sewer Advisory Committee meeting where the item on the agenda was the West Side Drive program that we just approved the funds for tonight. And that's my report.
Thank you, Selectman Chartrand.
Thank you.
Let's see, I attended, since we last met, the Pearpoint Park Stakeholders Advisory Committee meeting as they prepped for their presentation to the Budget Recommendations Committee on CIP night, and they also talked about the details of the wine tasting that we approved earlier this evening. I attended the Tree Committee meeting where they discussed hopefully being able to plant in the spring. Hopefully the drought is over. We have an inventory of trees that need to be planted. They're also working on achieving an Arbor Day between now and the end of the year so that they can move forward with their Tree City USA application for next year. I attended the Swayze Park trustees meeting where they reviewed the opening of the bids for the maintenance for next year. There were 5 bids, and the trustees opted to go with the incumbent, who's doing a very good job in their opinion. They also discussed a bequest from a citizen in town of a sum of money, and they were working with Mr. Stevens. Ultimately, that will be coming to the board when that's ready. I am part of the Coastal Resiliency Subcommittee headed by Kristen Murphy and Mr. Cronin, and we met to discuss the final slide presentation for the December 1st public meeting at SST at 6 o'clock p.m. to review the work that we've done with the Coastal Resiliency Grant thus far and to get public input. I'm hoping a lot of folks will show up. There are going to be interactive workshops, and it sounds like it's going to be pretty informative. So we hope that there'll be a good crowd. Kristen and the Swayze Park trustees have done a nice job advertising this. The trustees approved putting up a temporary sign on the parkway so we can get this out. It's also something in our correspondence. And I attended the budget recommendations CIP night and look forward to Chair Kelly coming forward on December 8th with their recommendations. And finally, again, periodically hanging out with Corey and Melissa to go over some various town things. So that's my report. So first piece of correspondence is, again, the public input session for the climate resiliency in Swayze Park, December 1st, 6 to 8 at the Seacoast School of Technology. We have a notification from Unitil about meter replacement in 2027 for upgrades. We have notification from Xfinity on some price changes. And that, and then a certificate, from AARP certifying that the town of Exeter, New Hampshire has created an action plan for becoming more age-friendly under the criteria established by AARP and has been renewed as a member of the AARP network of age-friendly states and communities. So well done. Mr. Tovey's worked hard on this, so
very much.
Kudos to him.
Can I see that?
Of course. You can have it.
I don't need it. Can you imagine?
Looking up ahead of the road.
All right. Last, let's get our calendars out.
I'm ready.
She's all ready. We're going to go right up to the March election.
Okay. I think I'm going to write them down. I don't know if I can work that fast. Okay.
There you go.
8.
We waited for you to come back, Selectwoman Gilman, before we went any further.
Okay. Wait. I'm almost ready. All right.
Take your time.
I'm ready.
Okay. We have 2 meetings in December, December 8th, December 22nd.
Both on my calendar.
January 5th.
Yep.
January 20th, which will be the budget hearing. It's on a Tuesday.
Already on my calendar. This is always so exciting.
I know.
Okay.
Yep.
February 2nd.
Now
Excuse
I
me.
need to.
That's the Monday after deliberative.
When is deliberative?
January 31st.
Thank you.
Deliberative session. Let's put that right on there.
Deliberative is the 31st. I thought it was the first, yeah. Okay, I'll have to reschedule myself.
It's a timing back.
Yeah, I just thought it was the first Saturday, so I have to, all right.
It typically is.
Okay, the 30. Okay, so now I have
So you have to go back from the date of the election because it's a certain number of days.
the 7th and the 2nd and the 16th in February.
Oh, we're still in January.
Oh. I thought we did
Yeah,
the
no,
second.
You did 2-2.
So
2-2,
2-2 and
yeah.
then 2-17, which is
2/17,
Tuesday.
okay, 'cause
Because of the holiday. And then
17.
March 2nd.
March 2nd, and then election.
And the election would be on
The 10th?
the 10th. So I actually started from the 10th and went backwards because I know we typically like to not meet the night before.
Yes,
we
please.
stand up for 16 hours.
Oh.
So 12/8, 12/22, 1/5, 1/20, 2/2, 2/17, and 3/2.
Okay.
I already had it, so.
I was going to throw in a 6/7 too.
That's worse than the
I was
cupcake.
going to say people with teenagers.
That is way worse than the cupcake.
If you're watching, Alexa.
So I everything except that one. Okay.
Okay. Any other business before the board?
Just to say happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Absolutely. Wishing you all a very safe and healthy and happy Thanksgiving. Get some rest, relax. To our staff, thank you for everything you do. Enjoy the holiday Thursday and Friday, and certainly to all of the folks in our community, happy Thanksgiving. May you be happy and healthy and well, and we will see you in December. So with
Yes.
that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? We stand adjourned. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast Channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.